90s kids stand 90s kids stand up. We're here representing the kids from the 1990s. I am a 90s baby, born in the 90s. So here we go. The 90s gave you all that. We had Bill Clinton as a president. Good Mob dropped Soul Food, but gave us cell therapy. And the song Soul Food, of course. Nas, no, he dropped his album, Illmatic. The 90s was known for, the Nintendo 64. Sega, as they would say, Sega. We gave us Sonic, we also had Mario, people like Crash Bandicoot, and also the PlayStation came along. Of course, Nintendo 64. Cell phone came along. The introducing the introduction of the WWW, the World Wide Web. Shows like all that. The Salute Your Shorts, the Rugrats. Real monsters. The Angry Beavers, Beaver, Fever. Batman animated series. The high top fade, the flat top, the rat tail, the Hubble Space Telescope came out, launched, when things were more simpler and more peaceful, people was less sensitive. Had the Dennis Miller Show, Chris Rock Show, A Living Color, Living Single, Friends, uh, Fraser. See what else? Love and marriage, like a love and marriage, like a horse and carriage, dun, 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 dun. Married with children. Jerry Springer Show. Jerry. See what else we all had. Michael Jordan, one of the top famous people in the 90s of the basketball era. Oprah Winfrey was one of the top TV personalities. Leonardo DiCaprio was one of the top actors in the 90s. Jerry Springer had one, I mean, Seinfeld was one of the top comedians in the 1990s. He had the glamour wear, high waisted mini skirts, plastic chokers, knee socks associated with the schoolgirl look, tight pants, slip dresses, turtleneck sweaters, conservative chic, capri pants, high waisted trousers, and cardigans. You had the smartphones, digital cameras, well, the the older model smartphones stuff, not the newer models. And they had the beeper, like beep beep. Who got the keys to my Jeep? Vroom. Miss Elliott dropped I Can't Stand the Rain. You had you see, smartphones, the digital camera, targeted internet searches, and the World Wide Web itself, emojis, even Snapchats and Instagrams are all built on the ideals that came about in the 1990s. Read on to discover some of the best technological advances of the 90s. Cold War, U.S. President George H.W. Bush and Soviet Union leader Mikhail Gorbachev signed a chemical weapons accord and ended chemical weapons production and began destroying their respective stocks. See, the Cold War, U.S. President George H.W. Bush and Soviet Union leader Mikhail Gorbachev signed the Chemical Weapons Accord to end chemical weapon production and begin destroying their respective stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 2,900 for the first time ever. 1994, thousands dead in the Rwanda massacre. April 6, South Africa holds first interracial national election. April 29th, Nelson Mandela, elected president. Israel signs accord with Palestinians. May 4th, peace treaty with Jordan on October. Actors that was the highest fan following in the world. Tom Cruise, Source Britannia, one of the highest grossing box office stars of all time. Tom Cruise is undoubtedly the actor with also the highest fan following in the world. Shah Rukh Khan, Source Outlook India, Angelina Jolie, Source E, Brad Pitt, Source Washington Post. Dwayne The Rock Johnson made his debut in 1996 as Rocky Maivia. He didn't have the look we know now. He had the curly hair look with the Samoan neckwear and short tights. He didn't have the rock bottom. He had a shoulder breaker, and it was dope. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, nicknamed The Rock, is the most famous person in the world as of 2022. Dwayne, who was WWE champion wrestler earlier, is now an actor and producer. And the rip and denim jeans was popular at that time. Your mama had, if your mama was around in the 90s, she wore a pair of silk high waisted bias cut mid eye or maxi skirt with a crop turtleneck long sleeve top in a bodysuit. You remember the bodysuits? Well, your mama used to rock around looking like a wrestler back in the 90s. Because you remember they had the long, tight pants with the little back. I don't got them now, but back then, when you had the tights, or as they would call leggings, they had the little part you stick your foot in, and you look like a wrestler, like Bret Hart or something. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Sting. Anyone that wore them tights, your mom used to look like that. Your mom had the big super earrings, the circle ones, triangle, star even, and all them little gold earrings, all the multi different colors. So yeah, your mom used to wear that, you know, and yeah, people mamas was different looking back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, a big mom actually looked like a big mom. She was like an older lady. Now your big mama's still like, see, Holly Berry, Angela Bassett, people like that. And you also had like the British Knights. Yes, like my man said, you can compare British Knights. Hadn't seen them since the 90s. Eggo waffles was famous. The bagel bites was famous. Pizza rolls was famous. Flavor ice was famous. Kid cuisine was famous. Hot pocket was famous. In the 90s. In 1995, see, Windows 95 was released. Hint, hint, 95. Oklahoma City federal building bombing. Nerve gas attack Tokyo subway. Barings bank collapse. A car bomb devastated Oklahoma City federal building on 19 April, after a NATO bombing campaign against Serb artillery, the Balkans war come to an end. And the 90s are 32 years old now. 1998, U.S. embassy bombing. The United States military launched cruise missile attacks against alleged Al Qaeda camps in Afghanistan and a suspected chemical plant in Sudan in retaliation for the August 7th bombings of American embassy in Kenya and Tanzania. The Backstreet Boys were famous in the 90s. In Sync, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, they was famous. Sir Mix drop, Sir Mix a lot drop. Baby got back. Spice Girls drops Wanna Be, Nothing Compares to You, Waterfall, I Swear by All for One. Tony Braxton dropped Unbreak My Heart. Let me see who else we got. Lauren Hill dropped Do Wop That Thing. Brandy and Monica dropped The Boys' Minds. Backstreet Boys dropped I Want It That Way. And one there to a dear Macarena. Hear them? Yeah, the Macarena came out at the time. You Oughta Know came out. Will Smith did Get Jiggy With It. All I Wanna Do came out. Ba, ba, ooh. Hanson dropped that song in the 90s. Waterfalls TLC came out in the 90s. Bittersweet Sympathy came out in the 90s. Blackstreet dropped No Diggity. Boys and Men dropped in the 90s. And Boys and Men dropped in the Road in the 90s. Barbie Girl came out by Aqua. Don't Let Go was dropped for the soundtrack of Set It Off. Cannonball came out. Losing My Religion came out. Outkast dropped Rosa Parks. Uh, Mariah Carey dropped Y'all Be My Baby. MC Hammer dropped Can't Touch This. And it had the MC Hammer dolls. Backstreet Boys dropped Everybody. So You Get What You Give came out by the Radicals. Summer Came Home, Don't Speak. Fuzzy Flashlight came out in the 90s. The Fuzzy Flashlight, see Britney Spears did, came out in the 90s. Offspring, Self Esteem, Selena Photos. The most played songs in the 90s was I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. The play count was 27.48 million. Radiohead Creep came out was one of the top played songs in the 1990s with 28.93 million. Metallica Into the Sandman 29.16 million. See Nirvana Come As You Are 30.36 million. Blackstreet No Diggity 30.94 million. The top five songs to top charts in the 90s was Everybody, Backstreet Boys, You Can't Touch This, MC Hammer, 1990, Black or White, Michael Jackson, 1991, Gangsta Paradise, Coolio, 1995, Bop, Hanson, 1997, Barbie Girl, Aqua, 1997, Everybody, Backstreet Boys, 1997. What we got here? Hold up. Put a little couple songs up in here. Only God can judge me. That right. Only God, baby. Nobody else. Nobody. Of course, Tupac dropped this banger. Only God can judge me. My Deep dropped this hit, Shook Ones. Yep. See what other hits came out. Yep. See what else came out in there. Yep. A lot of different hits came out. Nas dropped Stillmatic. So many dope songs came out. Of course, no Meth Man and Wu Tang Clan. METHOD, man. That came out for all my 90s kids. We bringing it tough, hard, and raw for the 1999, from the 1990s. You know, stand up if you're a 90s kid and proud. Of course, this song right here. And of course, this song right here. For the Love of Money by Bone Thugs. Rest in peace, Easy E. Easy E. Yeah. For more 90 songs, just go on the internet, YouTube, click it up, and find a 90s mix. It'll help you with the rest of the songs, you know. Get in my cell therapy. You had to play you that. No, OG. Yep. Yeah, I had played a couple of 90s songs. See what else we had. Yeah, I played a couple of that old school 90s songs. Like I say, just go on YouTube, hit the 90s mix, and you find any 90s songs you want. Did it get you up to the 90s? No. We had the Chia Pets came out. Chia. Remember them commercials? We put the little seeds in the little uh, clay thing. It was like the Simpsons ones, a South Park one, a Beavis and Butthead one. And they had like all the cartoon characters. And you put the little seeds in there, water, and watch it grow. And they had the Bill Clinton one. And it had like a lot of U.S. presidents. And it had like the U.S. all the U.S. presidents. And it had the Bill Clinton one. No, it had a Bill and it had a Bill Clinton one. And also, I'm trying to think, it was something else. Oh, the Walkmans was famous. Remember that? That's before you had like the cell phones. You had like the Walkman, put a little cassette in there, had the headphones on there, and you go walk down the street. Then you had the CD players. Then you had the cassettes. You had Billy Hills 90210, 90210, shows like that. Goosebumps, Goosebumps thing. Showing results for Goosebumps theme. You remember this? Wrong song. Remember this show? The Goosebumps books is good. You had Animals. Let me see what else. What other cartoon? Had the retro skates and Hot Wheels famous. You had the Blade movie, one of Marvel's first mainstream movies. They actually got Marvel out of debt. Crystal Pepsi, fat rope jeans, Kango hat, baggy pants, the baggy shirts, skateboards. Deion Sanders prime time, was the prime of his life. He was in football. You know, he had Tamagotchis. That's what they call the little pocket video game things for the little animals. You feed them and all that stuff. Had the Super Soaker, the Ren and Stimpy show with the dinosaurs. Yeah, stuff like this. You had the overalls, the paint design, the baggy pants, the black jackets, the members only jackets. They had Hey Arnold. See what else he had? He had Recess. You had the Mighty Ducks, all that. You had Dark Rain Duck. Let's get serious. Well, let's get dangerous. You had the old school McDonald's or Burger King commercials with Weezy kids and the little cartoon characters. This was before he had the King, the Burger King, the man dressed as the King. He had the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy. Hold up, players. Game Boy Color. Spice Girls. Hold up. They came from Britain and they dominated America. That's like the 1990 versions of the Beatles. How the Beatles came from Britain and they dominated America. The Spice Girls came from Britain and they dominated America. These are the Spice Girls. Man, yeah, like Powerpuff Girls. Cartoon Network was at its peak. First came out in the 90's. It was gave us Toonami, Dragon Ball Z. Moby was doing this thing. People like that. TLC was doing their things. Nirvana was doing their things. Recipes Kurt Cobain. Tiki Me Elmo was famous. They had the pucks, the little round little disc things. You play this before Beyblade came out. You play like boom. You like, ooh, not my puck. They had all creepy monsters, 8 balls, all kinds of creatures, wolves and stuff. You had the Furbies that came out. Little creepy things that talk and the ears move up and down, the eyes go like that. Yeah, them things. You had troll dolls. Yep, yep. Had Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, let's see, Power Rangers, the Gargoyles, Beetleborgs, and some other kind of stuff. Ooh, see what else we got. Had so many cool stuff. Apollo 13 came out. You had Nickelodeon, of course, where everyone used to get slimed. Undertaker made his debut in the 90s. Not the Undertaker you know today. This back when he had the gray gloves. He had Paul Bearer. No, yes, Paul Bearer. He met all that. The 90s. What else we had? You had little tie dye toys. You put a little all that mixed stuff in your little machine. Put your shirt in there. Bam! You got a shirt with this tie dye. You know what I'm saying? Had the Pokeballs with all the little Pokemons came out of them. You had Slink. You had the Yo-Yo ball. This way you play with your yo-yo with no complications. Cause no, it's yo-yo ball. Yo-yo can go up and down. You can play with and sling the thing everywhere without having to worry about rolling up. Cause it was automatically built to where it can roll up by itself. Mm. And it's like this one a traditional yo-yo. This the new yo-yo. Yeah. You had the Biker Mars from outer space. You had Bucket. You had Crossfire. I mean, you had Little Mermaid came out. Aladdin came out. Aladdin and the King of Thieves came out. See what else we had? You had the Mighty Beans, the Tamiya cars. You had like the little Beanie Babies. That's the one. Has the little wrestling finger toys. You had the wrestling pillows. I mean the wrestling cloth toys like Sting, Hulk Hogan, NWO, Kevin Nash, Lex Luger, Goldberg. Let's see who else we had. You had Betty Spaghetti. Forgot about her. You had the clear see-through phones that you could see through with the cables. You have to be careful because you won't trip on them. And when I was a kid, I used to pick up my cousins and cut the phone, hang up on them. When it was on the phone, hang up like Then I had the newer phones where the hanger thing was on the phone. It wasn't on the part, so I couldn't get them. That's like So you had the little ball thing. You had a little thing you put on your ankle. You swing it around. You got jump, swing at the same time. And yeah, oh yeah, so you had the doodle bear. We put all kind of designs on it. You can wash them and they go away. Yeah, juice cookies, baby alive. That was creepy, but yeah, yep, yep. Yeah, bop it, flip it, twist it. You had perfection, operation, all kinds of cool games. Yep, yep. 90s album shirts and jackets all multiple colors. Red on this side, green on this side, blue in the middle, red on the other. I mean, pink on the other side. Green at the bottom, gold at the other side. All the multiple color shirts, and it was all on one shirt. And jackets was the same way. Shoes too. See, yeah, like the overalls. Another bad craze that came out with the idea to have overalls with the not tie dye but the graffiti style on 'em. The bucket hats was famous. No, I think that was famous in the 80s. But yes, you had like a lot of cool stuff. Had the fanny pack. Had the button up shirts like Debo used to wear. Tia and Tamara, and was famous twins at the time. Full House, sister, smart guy, Aaliyah, and rest in peace is famous. Came out one of the top youngest singers at that time. Had the graffiti print tees. Females had finger waves. White girls had like the ponytails with the curls and stuff. Black women had like the finger waves. Sometimes the afro puffs. Sometimes like cut short on this side, long on this side. All that kind of stuff. I had never been a woman, so I don't know it all in perfection. Yep, yep. Black. Well, white women too. Black women and white women had to like the nails, those long, like Coco from SWV. Them long nails, like it scratches like a cat, like a tiger. All like that. They had all them different kind of nail designs and all that. Had weaves, of course. So many brilliant styles that came out. Nia Long, she had like short hairstyle, long hairstyle stuff. Then you had striped shirt. Females had striped shirts, the heart in the middle. Stars and stuff, different kind of styles, and that was famous. You had the vest, sweater vest. Martin, all that came out. Uh, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, all kinds of good stuff. We seen the best of the careers of J Lo, all them, Tommy Davidson, David Algrid, James Fox, anyone you could think of. Yo, MTV Raps, BET was all out there. MTV, VH1's out there in the 90s. So many brilliant things. Cell phones was bigger, way bigger than this. You had to flip cell phones, so you had to put an antenna up there, and now they upgraded to looking like this. Price, gas was cheaper, everything was different in the 90s. So we was born in a good generation in the 90s. You had Death Row, Ruthless Records, and Bad Boys to dominate in the 90s. Had the birth of Destiny Child and the career of Beyonce in the 90s. Back when there was four girl group too, Kelly Rowland, Michelle, and all them. Latoya Luckett and the other chick. And, yeah, see, Kelly Rowland, yeah, and so many different stuff. They had to battle the boy bands. Everyone was dropping club bangers at that time. Of course, Nas dropped If I Rule the World. Tyra Banks was popping in the 90s. Had the show Clueless with Niecy Nash and all them. He had like the little, he had the plaits, like when the women had the hair part and none had the little plaits. Wishbone had them in Thug Sugar's Bone. He had two like pigtails. Then he had like the little little afro buns. He had like little buns that was long. Then some of them had their braid on the side, come down on the sides and curl at the top. Then you had like Baps. They looked like that, like Harley Berry and Baps and all of that kind of stuff. Just cool stuff. Yep, so many, and he had a lot of cheetah designs, a lot of tiger designs, and all kind of designs. That was a popular thing, with women and sometimes men. you know. So that's the story of the 90s. And much love to all my 90s kids, you know. We repping the 90s, you know, 1990 to 1999, you know, where you at, stand up, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let's get me 1,000 subscribers, you know. Just give me over 800 views, and we out.